Hello, everybody. How are my demons doing today? Hmm? I bet you're all fine, or at least you're having a good day. And if you're not having a good day, then maybe I can help you. Maybe I can. So today, what I had planned today is to, instead of experimenting with Veatube, I want to continue. No, I want to start drawing the model. So maybe I can make a temporary one to replace this uh, the default Veadotube model that I am using right now. It is good because, well, it is a default one. I'm still not very good using Veadotube, but maybe if I make a temporary model, then I will stop looking like this, like a fucking deer. Not that I have a problem with deers, because, well, I think almost everybody in the Helluvaverse likes Alastor, and he's kind of a deer. Is there a male version of deer? I don't remember right now. But that doesn't matter. What matters is that I will be drawing. Do you guys remember those sketches that Blitzo does in some of the episodes? The goofy sketches about all the characters. If I'm not wrong, did draw he did drew Luna and Millie and Moxie and himself, but I don't think he drew Stolas. Fortunately, just recently, I mean, I think yesterday, Viv posted new products, and those products are literally just sketches of Blitzo of different characters. There's Andreophus and Verosica and the Stolas with the new outfit from the last episode. There's also the sisters from the Fitzaroli episode, the second Fitzaroli episode from season 2. And I think they also released a Vasago one. So I'm going to take inspiration in those sketches of Blitzo to make my own model. It will be simple. This one has a lot of moving parts, and well, I don't think I know how to use Veadotube enough to make arms or maybe a head that follows my face with the camera. So so I think I'll just make a simple sketch like those of Blitzo. I- If you just enter the stream and you saw the miniature, yes, that is exactly what I'm going to do, but another one. And this time it will move and it will react every time I say something. It will be really cute. I want this drawing to be cute. The drawing in specific is an OC I made for streaming. It is a Goisha version of myself, or at least what I would like to look like if I were a Goisha. To create the OC, I investigated a lot of different kinds of birds and their habits, and well, because there are a lot of common birds like hawks and owls and crows and well, I didn't want my OC to be a common bird or a peacock or yeah, I think you get it. Not a common bird, not a bird that everybody knows at the top of their mind. So I investigated, and with investigated, I mean I used ChatGPT, uh, and also I used a lot of forums of birds, of people that like to take pictures of birds in order to find one bird that I think represents myself. It's not too loud, it is not flashy, not too extravagant, but at least it's kind of cute. The bird I chose is the stone curlew. It is a small bird with very long legs, at least comparing it to the size of the bird. He just goes around walking, looking for food, and the name stone curlew comes from the fact that it stays completely still like a statue every time it senses danger. Obviously, I think it is capable of running if it senses that the threat is about to jump it, but well, that is a very interesting behavior. It's not like deers that just stay dumbfounded in the middle of the street while a car runs them. It is a calculated statute. It is a calculated move. But anyways, there are a lot of options for birds. I didn't want a bird that was too plain. I mean, the stone curlew does is not that flashy, but at the same time, if you saw the stone curlew in the middle of the road, you would recognize it. If you already knew what a stone curlew is, I mean, at first I wanted a smaller bird, but all the small birds somehow are either just gray, all of gray feathers with no style, or they're totally and they're too flamboyant in a exaggerated way. And I also didn't want to be a predator bird like hawks and crows. Well, are crows predators? Or are they? Mm, I don't know. But I don't want to look that up right now. I wanted my bird to not be a predator. I wanted it to be a herbivore, a prey. And I know that Stolos technically is a predator. He's an owl. They eat rats. They hunt in the night. That's why they have their eyes and at the front of their face to focus on their prey. But right now, but I didn't want that. I wanted a prey, a herbivore. Are birds herbivores? Are they omnivores? I mean, seagulls kinda eat almost anything, and if the predator is big enough, then it also tries to sometimes eat small rodents, even if the diet of that bird is mainly consists of plants or seeds. So yeah, I'll be I'll be drawing a stone curlew Goetia OC for the stream.
much, Alistair. Oh, Alistair, you're so special. Fox, you know we could never. You're pathetic.
Just give me a moment, guys. I'm doing something. Well, everybody, just in a few, give me a few seconds, and I will be there. Uh, there we go. That must be enough. So right here, here it is. Hello. I'll just quickly grab a reference for me to not be mistaken about the decisions I took, the design decisions I took for the OC. Alright. Then let's begin. So there's this weird thing with all the characters in Hello Boss and Tasman Hotel. That is that a lot of them, if not the majority, have very thin necks. In general, they are very thin. But that doesn't matter right now. Because that is exactly what we are doing. A Hello Boss character. For those of you that are in the US, in the land of freedom, if it could still be, if I could still make call it that, I guess that hold on, I need to look at the reference sheet. Well, usually almost all the avian characters have this hard shape that is for their face. That is usually. No, this is not good. The center is right here. Then that means that the beak should go this way, maybe. No, I think it is too up. I need to lower it. Like this. Wait, actually, why am I putting so much effort? I said that I was going to just do a sketch. I am an idiot. I am stupid. Why am I putting so much effort into what is supposed to be just a sketch? It needs rough lines. Yes, a rounded head. Something like this. Maybe I should also do the lower part, the lower beak, like this. And then this one has basically a line that goes like this. All right. All right. It requires this. The line goes right here, and then like this. Then it should go around here like this. Or maybe I should make the torso longer. I have to select it again. Alright, then move it slightly down. Okay. Stop selecting. No, I don't think this is right. Maybe the torso should be smaller. Like this. It should end up about here. And here is where it will start the corset. Okay. Something like that. I'm trying my best not to be silent right here because, well, usually one must. I'm streaming. If the stream is all silent, then I should try to entertain people. Isn't that correct? Maybe I should open trending. So then this should be 2 concurrent viewers. Alright. So let's see. You know what? I don't care if it is good or not. I'm just going to make it as I wish, and everybody is going to like it, right? Alright, everybody. So I don't care. I don't care anymore of this. Can get slower and lower. Alright. Just make something. No, I don't. Or yes? I should make the hair longer. Alright. Or maybe this is the problem. It is that my pen is too. Yeah, maybe this is better for such a sketch. Maybe I should make the no. I don't want it to look weird. But I guess that is what I'll do. What the hell? I'll just use the Stolus model. The eyes must be lower. it should look better. Yes, that's way better. That is, wow, a lot better. I don't know what the fuck was I smoking earlier. But this is much, much better. Alright. Now for the neck, it shouldn't be that rounded. Alright, and now this. I better just not add the little hair, off the front, just like this is better. All right. Now that that is done, it actually looks really good. I'm happy with this. What a surprise. I made something I like. Not like the rest of the time that I'm not streaming and I'm drawing. Shit. This is awesome. I'm actually making something that I like. So when I was creating the character, I had in mind for him to not wear tight clothes, but at the same time for those clothes to be elegant. So I looked around Pinterest, I collected a big amount of references of clothing, and surprisingly, there's not much elegant clothes that are not tied to the body. I wanted them to be comfortable, and it wasn't much. There wasn't very much I could do. So I just took what I thought it was comfortable and I modified it to for my advantage. Here I gave him well, I shouldn't be thinking a lot about how to draw him anyways, because well, this is just a simple like this. Yes, something like this. But also I shouldn't, the chest is too broad. No, too much. Just something like this. But in the sketches are not too sophisticated. They don't have round corners. They're rough. All lines are direct. So something like this. Yes, something like this. The other arm should be tighter to the body, I think. Yes, so the curves, they must be not that complicated to make, just a little something like this. Oh yeah, I forgot that he has the shirt that he has makes the sleeves too wide. They are loose. So sure how to do this one. Maybe I shouldn't focus so much on on his arms right now. I'll just make his clothes. He keeps them like that. And there. He has like very pronunciated curls. Hey, my post in Blue Sky is doing... It's not that bad. It is doing pretty well. Well, I mean, they're just re-uploads of the post, and they're not actually users. It is like accounts that dedicate to compilating posts, or that's what I think they are. I'm not quite sure what they really are. Like this account called Gaming News. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11, 12. They reposted a shit ton of people alongside me. So, yeah, I wasn't special in the slightest. Also, I added this cute, like, flappy things to his clothes. They are like little... I don't know what they are called. Maybe I should put the hands behind. I'll be a little sneaky here. I'll put the... I should add the corset right here. One, two, three. So I get the arms like this, and then they go backwards like this. So then I have to add I feel like his arms are too thick. They're too thick. This is too much thickness for the arms. Too much. They should like be the arms are always tiny. They're not tiny, they're skinny. Alright. Now, should they really be this skinny? I feel like this is too skinny. Even for a Galician. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that right. Okay, now this right here. This is ending, and this drawing is ending up better than I thought it would. So let's put this and this. This one doesn't matter. Put them right here. Lower the opacity of all of them. No. Damn it. I hate what that happens. No. Hate it. Hate it so much when that happens. God damn it. Like, how am I this stupid? How am I this stupid? I don't understand. Okay, we'll leave that one. No. Like this. Okay, okay, okay. Lower. Okay. I'll have to do it again. Like this. Alright. Come on. Okay. Now we can take it here. There we go. And then just take 2 lines. And there. Alright, so let's start by doing one of these. Alright, and then we make another one. not like that. Maybe like this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right. All right. Now I should get something like that. Yes. Unbelievable. This is beautiful. Incredible. Awesome. Almost missed that spot. But okay. Now I need a texture. I need a texture. And the paper texture that I used, but I don't remember where I left it. Here. No, but not as a separate one. Just like that. Okay. This is empty. So there we go. We put it like that. Okay. This layer should clip the layer below. So let's just use some random color. Filter, quick filters, blur. I'll worry about that later, or yes, this one is good. A little bit around. It doesn't matter that I'm not keeping the paper texture inside the line, because well, obviously I have to put a limit to where I overflow the texture. But the point is to make the character look as if it came out of paper. A drawing, a picture coming to life. Reminds me of Bendy and the Ink Machine. I saw that it was popular like earlier this year, or maybe it was last year, I don't remember. The only thing I remember is that it was a weird Mickey Mouse game. Or something like that. I found this texture around in the internet, around just making a quick search in Chrome. Usually you don't find high quality textures like this one, so that's why I like it a lot. A little bit around here. I want to overflow a little more the arm. Something like this. Too much. That is very good. Looks cute enough. Great. Looks awesome. I love it. I will... Oh, I also have to make a version with the head talking. So I have to duplicate. I need to put this inside another folder. And I have to erase most of it. Great. So I have to export this. Export single layer PNG. Draft preview store. Space specify. Process for illustration, watermark, noise, pattern. Just please. No. Can I export or no, I think I have to first turn off the paper. There, like that. Now I can export it. Embed IC profile. I think that's good. Okay. How long have I been streaming? An hour and a half. Man, time goes slow. Alright, so now I need to make another one with the mouth open. Which pen was I using? The textured one? 15. Yes, I was using the textured one. Let's take again the paper. All right. So the mouth is about here. Should go around this. No, not really. It should only go up a little bit, not so much. This is too much again. I should use the pencil. This is too much, too wide, too open. Like this. Excellent. So then like that. So okay. And we take this one like this. I hate when this happens. I just can't get it right. There we go. Okay, nice. Okay, so now I have to cover what the previous one did. There. Yes, exactly. Oops, no. Okay. This looks perfect. Now I can just turn it off and export it. Great. This is... I like how the OC came up. He looks really cute. By the way, I still don't have a name. I'm thinking I have a few options, but unfortunately I don't know. I'm not sure which one to pick because some might not be as good as the other ones, but there are a few good ones and I'm not sure which one to pick. Maybe if I make a poll in Twitter or in Blue Sky, maybe Tumblr. I'm not sure. Well, guys, I think that's it for today. I think that's it for today. I feel really tired. I know there are some people they recommend for streaming to stream for like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, but it's late. I feel tired. I made a really cute drawing of my OC, and I'm proud of how it ended up. So it would be better to just leave it there. Oh, novel sugar. Several polls on different sites probably, and you could all tally results amongst all of them. Hello, Novel Sugar. You're actually the first guy to be here. You're my first viewer. Welcome. This is awesome. My first viewer. Woo! Yes, finally. One viewer. My god. Well, I mean, that is a really good suggestion. The thing is that every social media platform has different opinions. Some, I mean, how do I put it? If I give 5 options, all of them numbered, Twitter will lean more to number 1 or 2, Tumblr will lean more to 3 or 4, and Blue Sky will lean more to other ones. So the possibilities could be a lot mixed, too mixed for me to make a decision, a definitive decision of the name for my OC. But thank you for the suggestion and for actually chatting. It is a privilege to have a viewer here. Yes, that's what I mean. A huge risk. Though, well, what I try to do with the name, I want my name, the name for the OC, to be similar to those of the other Goetia demons. I made a list of all the suffixes and prefixes of the several names in the Goetia. Some start with Baal, some end with Iriel or with L. There are conventions of how the Goetia are named. And I also want to draw a sigil for my OC. Though that one doesn't, the Goetia sigils don't have a definitive pattern on how they are made. You can just make straight lines, curves with crosses and circles, and also spikes, and that would be it. There's not much in common each sigil has to each other, and each sigil doesn't have very much in common with its respective demon. Only some of them are related, or the graphic is related to the demon. Maybe would you like to hear some of the main names I have in mind for my OC? Awesome. Let me just know where I left them. I have it in like a notepad. Alright, so the first option I thought about was Casamiel, which is basically the Hebrew of crystal and the suffix yel, Casamiel. The second one is Coraxbal, is prefix codex, suffix bal. The third one was Balnom. It is written Baelnom. The fourth one I had in mind was Belheriel, prefix Bel, suffix Riel. The fifth one was Orden, and the last one I have thought about was Orden. Oh, sorry, Codan. Codan. Right now, I'm leaning more with Balnom, Codex Bal, or Belheriel. Mostly Belheriel. But I don't know what you think. I'll anyways make polls in social media, in various social media platforms, but seeing as you are my first viewer, I want to know what you think. Maybe I should. Maybe I should put text here. Can I put text in OBS? Let me see. Display game slide scene text. All right. So here's the list. This is the list. The one I was leaning more towards was Belheriel, the fourth one. Hmm, really? I mean, I think it does. Hmm, that is... Yeah, actually, it does sound regal. You know what? You convinced me. I think Belhariel will be the definitive name for my OC. Would you like to hear about his story? It is not very long. It's just a basic backstory. Maybe someday I want to expand on it, but I don't have time right now. Awesome. So basically, Belheriel was born in one of the branches of the Goetia that has been drifting away from magic. Basically, there's a long in the last episode of Hello Boss. There's a long row of Goetia. So basically, one of the branches of the Goetia family, as others, because at least for what I have seen in the series, not all Goetia are capable of magic. Only some are, or maybe all of them are capable of magic, but only some choose to learn how to use magic. In the case of Andreolphus, I'm not sure if he was born naturally knowing how to produce eyes, or if that kind of magic was learned. I mean, I don't know why one would choose to only exclusively have ice magic and not learn many other spells. Me personally, I would, if I were capable of doing magic, I would learn not only magic from one aspect, but I would like to learn more aspects of magic. Stolas basically has cosmic magic. He uses the cosmos to predict the future, or maybe have visions of future events, just as in the song I'll Be Okay. And Rilfus has eyes, and Basago, I'm not sure what Basago has. I mean, he makes stars, but what is a star even? Wouldn't Stolas be also capable of creating stars if his magic is related to the cosmos and the space in general? Or are Basago's stars different in some way? I don't know. But anyways, Belheriel was born without a mother. His mother left that branch of the Goetia. She chose to marry another man from another branch of the Goetia, and he was left with his father. And despite his father not being as neglectful as Paimon was to Stolas, basically his father always saw him as a burden, as something to carry instead of a heir to his position. Basically, he never saw Belheriel as one of his own. He saw him as something lower than him, as just as a job well done. I have a son. That's it. I don't want anything more from it. So Belheriel seeing as his father never actually liked him, even if he tried to communicate with Belheriel, it was not in the best way. Basically, Belheriel's father always forced Belheriel to do things that only he liked, such as drinking and forcing him to play the piano, and posing as a child, as a well-behaved child in front of the other Goetia whenever there was a party or a reunion of different branches of the Goetia. But in the meanwhile, in the moments that Belheriel was alone in the mansion with the other imps, he spent his time reading magic books. He wasn't interested in fiction or in physics. He was interested in magic specifically. And as the years went by, he started being capable of producing magic. At least for what we have seen in the series, there hasn't been a single child capable of handling magic. Only adults are capable of making magic. We only see adults using it, so I guess that is what I thought. Only adults are capable of using magic. So when he started growing, he started testing different spells, and with time he got a very structured understanding of magic, as opposed to a mystical one. So, for example, Andrelphus doesn't need to make a sigil or talk or make different incantations to summon his eyes. Andrelphus just has to think of making eyes, and the eyes just pops out. That is the mystical functionality of magic. But Belheriel developed a more structured understanding of magic, which means that he has to combine complex arrangements of sigils, of symbols, or he has to say out loud incantations in order to make spells. When Belheriel, basically magic not only is magic, as a lot of things in this world, it is tied to history of different Goetia that have been discovering different spells and different properties across thousands of years. So, alongside his magic, he also learned about the Goetia family as a whole, not just his branch or not just the branches that are closely related to his father. He learned about the most important one, that is Stolas and his daughter and Paimon. And since he learned that, he craved to be a Goetia with such access to magic, because not all, at least in my headcanon, not all Goetia have access to the library of information that Stolas has. We repeatedly hear that Stolas is a protector of secrets, so that means that some magic, or most of magic in Hello Boss, is heavily restricted or protected in secrecy, and Stolas is the duty of Stolas is to protect that. And despite Belheriel having a good understanding, a good structured understanding of magic, he would never have the amount of accessible information that Stolas has. But unfortunately, as we see in almost the whole series, Stolas doesn't really obey or work in what he's supposed to do. I mean, he's supposed to watch the stars for future events, for disasters, or maybe to see the future luck. But we never see him actually do that. So, what do you think? Sorry if it took me too long to narrate this whole thing. It's just that I'm new in this thing of talking. I'm a new human. I have to learn how to talk. Or at least learn how to talk without having so many pauses. Because I understand that it could get annoying pretty quickly. That I have to pause every so and then to say something. Yes, that is very that is why I made it that way. Basically, if all the Goisha are capable of magic, then that means that not everyone chooses to not learn it. Maybe because it is too hard, and with time people have drifted away from needing magic, instead relying on technology. Because in the Helliverse, technology rarely develops in hell. Technology almost always comes from sinners that come down to hell and bring their knowledge to hell, and with that knowledge they adapt it to hell's technology. We can see it in the third episode of Hell of a Boss, which is basically killing a smart guy, and two smart guys fall to hell. But that means that with the rise of technology, the Goisha have... Yes, exactly. Technological advancements and cultural cultural characteristics always come from Earth. They come from Earth when people fall to hell, and they bring that with them. That is why, despite sinners only being in the Pride Ring, they have so much influence over every single ring in hell, because hell doesn't have... I really wish Viv would have shown more older characters, or maybe more varied characters, because, well, it's literally hell. Not only people from the United States or from Mexico fall to hell. What about Chinese? What about, well, we see the Italian mafia, but we don't see Italians, normal Italians, we don't see them. Other than, well, Angel Dust, but he was from the 1980s, if I'm not wrong. We don't see Indians. We don't see Germans. I mean, it has so much potential to show cultural diversity, but at the same time, it doesn't. It stays stuck with Latin Americans and Americans. But anyways, that's not what I was talking about. What I mean is, because hell is the way that it is, a dimension of suffering and pure pain, then that means that hell's technological advancements are only advance whenever they need it. We hear Moxie talking about the the advancements in weaponry and angelic weaponry, but that only happens because hell is in a constant state of war and conflict, which it is only capable of brewing more technological advancements only for war. So all the advancements, all the cultural diversity, and anything new that isn't related to war or suffering comes from Earth, from the Earthlings that fall down. Businesses, the concept of I mean capitalism. I mean, maybe capitalism has only existed in hell for a few hundred years, because technically it is, comparing it to the lifespan of humanity since Adam and Eve, it has been thousands of years, and back then capitalism didn't exist. So for hell to totally and completely be overthrown by capitalism means that the sinners must have a huge influence over everybody in hell, despite only being in the bride ring. What do you think? I mean, it would make sense that capitalism has only existed for a few hundred years because, well, technically the hierarchy still exists. There is a monarchy. Oh, but we can't exclude all the deadly sins. Literally every single deadly sin has their hands in something related to capitalism. They all have a business. They all have companies. I mean, except Beelzebub. I think she just, or maybe does she sell her alcohol? I mean, we see her alcohol all over hell, but I'm not sure if that is for sale or maybe she gives it for free only to a few individuals. But literally every single deadly sin has their hands in something related to capitalism, even despite them being beings that have existed for thousands of years, that for thousands of years have not known what the hell capitalism is. It is surprising that none of them ever resisted the change. I mean, one would expect maybe Wrath, maybe Satan would resist the change, because what does he have to gain from capitalism? Capitalism itself is a system that heavily uh, that doesn't really like anger. It is not compatible with anger at 100%. That is why he has a therapist. I suppose he says the little angel demon thing is a therapist, I suppose, because if he was in a if Satan was in a constant state of anger, then he would not be in his right mind to be managing a business, a fitness app. He needs to stay calm in order to manage those things. It goes totally against of what his deadly sin is. And I guess the only one that gains from all this is, well, Mammon. It still surprises me that Mammon doesn't have as much power as Satan does. Because currently, I think Mammon would be one of the most powerful deadly sins if we take it into account how our modern society is. Almost everybody is greedy nowadays. Almost everybody. And also look at what was the name of the deadly sin of sloth? I don't remember her name. Yeah, at least third strongest, alongside pride and wrath. Sloth. Belphegor. Her name was Belphegor. Okay, I didn't remember her name. So, also taking into account, let's also analyze Belphegor. She was constantly getting asleep in the courtroom. She's fighting herself to stay awake because capitalism requires her to stay awake for her to manage her business, to manage her drugs, that I suppose are antidepressants and sleeping aids, or maybe stronger drugs. But she can't run all of that if she's sleeping all the time. She must be awake. Literally, greed requires her to stay awake, to do the complete opposite of what her deadly sin is, even if it might hurt her. I think the only ones that on below Mammon, I think I below Mammon, I think Aussie would be the strongest one below Mammon, because, well, also our culture is deeply sexualized. And Beelzebub also gains from this because, well, technically mukbangs exist and the obesity is in the rising. Greed, greed and lust, I think they are one of the most strongest ones if we analyze our current society. But it surprises me that wrath is the strongest one. Or maybe not. Would wrath be the strongest one? Because, well, even if capitalism heavily punishes anger, people are still, they instead of showing their anger, people have to bottle it down, just like Satan does. Everyone has to bottle down their anger. And were you, hey, Noble Sugar, were you here when I was drawing, or not? I was drawing my OC, but I don't know if you saw him. Really? Oh, I didn't notice. That is awesome, dude. I didn't know you were there. If you just said something, I would have acknowledged you. Yes, yes, that's what I'm saying. If you would have said something, I would have acknowledged your existence. But wow, that is awesome, dude. You really stayed that long, even while I was not talking? I'm sorry, it's always interesting seeing artists work. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, well, at first, when I didn't know streaming existed, back in, I don't know, 2015, 2020, I don't know. So basically, I only saw streams, and of course, it's always good to show support to others. Thanks, man. That's awesome. I appreciate it a lot. So, as I was saying, the only times I saw streams from artists was when I was trying to practice. But then I stopped practicing and I lost a lot of my skill in drawing. I lost practice, and well, it has been only recently that I started drawing again. But now I'm streaming it so that I could get motivation to draw again. Because if I'm sure that if I don't stream this, then I would lose my motivation to do it again and again and again. And most of the streamers that most of the artists that I always expectated were the ones that stayed silent. The whole the videos, all the streams are always, they don't have music, they don't have voice, they're just them drawing with long pauses in between strokes. So with the PNGtuber and me talking is a way to try to not make the stream so boring. Try to spice it up a little bit and keep the attention of the people. And I'm glad at least I catch the attention of only one person. That is very relieving. I thought I was going to stream for another week, for maybe a week or a month without a single spectator. You were a really I'm thankful. It is a surprise to have someone in the stream. Now I don't know what to do because I was about to go when you uh, chatted. So I mean, should I go? Should I draw something else? I've only streamed for 2.5 hours. Maybe I can draw something for you if you want. Wait, Marcella, are you that dude? The one from Blue Sky? Well, that is another one surprise after another. I didn't remember your username until now. Shit, man. Thank you so much. So, anyways, would you like me to draw something for you? It is completely free. Don't worry. I won't I won't charge you. You just ask and I'll draw something. Maybe tomorrow I'll have the model prepared. So instead of this deer, I'll have my OC. Yeah, sounds good. All right. Let me set up this. There we go. All right then. New. maybe I just make it 1000 by 1200. All right, let me look up the character, because well, I don't have her memorized. Here it is, the image that you sent me.